What's going on, everybody? This is Paul Newell, your new wellness guide, bringing you a bit of insight that I got from my meditation and my own personal reflection. So before I dive into this about knowledge, I want to talk to bring you up to speed as to what even brought me to this thing I'm about to give you. So I work with different mentors, coaches, and guides, right? Just as a way for me to continue to evolve and develop, continue to peel away the layers so I can get to my highest and best self. And most of the time, it's unpleasant, and it's worth it. And I get to look at things that usually I've been running away from or procrastinating on doing. So one of the things I recognize is working with one of my guides and on a project, I recognize how much I put someone on a pedestal. And what happens when I do that is I recognize in myself that I fail to see the whole picture. I fail to truly see someone. And I put someone in a box. So I'm limiting myself, and also I'm limiting them and what can be given. So as I'm thinking of this, like what happened is, like, we're working on a project, and it required that I bring a lot of my skill set to this arena. And for me, it was interesting because by me putting someone on a pedestal, it had me limit myself and really being assertive in how we are on the best ways for us to do something for the best possible result in the shortest amount of time. So that ended up being a leak for all of us in the project. Now, once I recognized this, and we discussed this, and things got heated because I traditionally like to shy away from confrontation. So when it comes to a head, shout out to myself, because usually I got to use anger to create that boundary and to assert myself. And this time, I actually, using green language, I was able to hold ground, hold space, and also communicate in a way to move a project forward. So it was really powerful. More green language classes coming on the way. So what this taught me was that by me putting someone on a pedestal, again, I'm limiting the whole situation. I'm limiting them, and I'm limiting myself. And I'm also, as I'm recognizing, limiting the flow of insight and collective wisdom, knowledge, right? So what it is like, to give you a visual, because this is what was coming to my head. Like, this is the stuff that happens when I'm inside. So I like being inside. I'm an introvert. Wait. So this here, for example, this is... Let's say, for example, let's take you for example. Is there someone that you look up to? Who do you put on a pedestal? Like, they just know it all. They really do. Like, who's that person? That's them right there. All right. And let's say that this is you. Now, in this space, you're looking up, right? That's the pedestal. Like, oh, they're on the most high. Now, here's a kicker, right? Like, that I'm recognizing is that this person that's looking up also has someone that's looking up to them. Now, because they're unable to see this person as an equal, as a human, free of like, oh, they have an extra level of knowledge. The thing here is that this person has an extra level of knowledge to this person as well, right? Now, here's the kicker, right? Now, the pedestal, this knowledge, we've traditionally viewed this as a hierarchy, when in reality, it's a wave. Because what I recognized in my situation was that this person that I held on a pedestal, listen, I've taught them things as well. And now they're looking up to me. They're looking up to me for certain insight and wisdom. And then also this person, I'm going to look at them, and I'm going to get certain insight and wisdom. This is something that came to me too as I was doing editing for my next podcast, and I was talking to two trainers, two wellness pros that I've connected with in my at my job, and we have 10 years difference between us, and we can all gather and learn from each other. It's beautiful. So now this person's up here. Okay? So now there's the thing. There are no pedestals. This is a wave. This is a matrix of collective wisdom and knowledge, which I think is what's happening right now with this, with one of the things happening with this piece of isolation and people going into an uncomfortable space, or going to the space that they have yet to get comfortable in. So it's going to require, it gets us to ask for support, ask for help, learn new things, be a beginner, test new things, neuroplasticity, learn new brain waves, new pathways to get to a certain result or to do certain things. So when you look at it, right, like before, we look at it from this instance. But if I flatten this out here, it's a matrix of wisdom and knowledge, right, that goes across, that goes down, that goes over, that goes through. And there's all these little grids. The thing is, what's also happening right now is by people being willing to see someone and acknowledge the knowledge that they have, and importantly, seeing self and recognizing the knowledge that self has. Because now being able to know myself fully and then learning to know someone else, we can partner this knowledge, this collective wisdom, and we could do something spectacular and great. So it was a must. Yeah, I'm gonna speak. It was a must for me to get this out because I think right now this is relevant. I'm probably gonna look back on this at some point and I'm like, oh, that's key. And right now I'm looking at this as like, this is key. The message here: be free of putting someone on a pedestal before you put yourself on one. Be free of putting someone on a pedestal before you put yourself on one. The knowledge that you have is important. The knowledge that you have is important. And you are worthy to share and receive insight. And you're worthy to share and receive insight. With that, be well, share the wisdom. I'm out.